And have you won a Berlin Alley also? I see the Berlin Bear there on your...
We went to Berlin, and it was we had a beautiful reception there. Christian Bale, Bradley Cooper, Amy Adams, and myself, and it was beautiful.
I love the scene, by the way.
He's a big Berlin fan, having lived there himself.
I love this scene that we opened with when she isn't supposed to put any metal in her science oven. She calls the microwave her science oven.
So that's a metaphor that appears to you from, it's a wonderful gift as a writer and a director. You know, you've got a true story. There was a gift of friendship. Like if as a gift of friendship, I said, listen, come here, I want to give you something. I took you out to the parking lot, opened my trunk. This really happened between the mayor character that Jeremy Renner plays and Chris. And I go, here. And you guys, well, what is it? It's an oven. What kind of an oven? Well, it's a scientific oven because it was new. Molecules, they move, they cook the food, and then he takes it home and it becomes a metaphor for Jennifer Lawrence, who defies her husband, is explosive and rebellious, puts metal in it, and says that his deals take the nutrition out of the food like the science oven does, which was all coming out in stories then.
Right, and she hands him a column to prove it, right?
Yes, it was written at that time.
Excellent.
How did this movie come together?
You know, Charles Roven and I did a movie called Three Kings, and Eric Singer and I had spoken. That was many years ago, and I'm always looking for phenomenal characters in a doozy of a predicament that can show all their humanity, the way I like to do.
Three Kings is the Iraq movie.
From 15 years ago.
Right.
Let people Google it. Let them see there was a first war.
Right. Go watch it on Netflix.
Before it became syndicated. A syndicated war.
Who's in it? Wahlberg and
George Clooney.
Clooney?
Somebody named George Clooney.
Yeah.
Somebody named Mark Wahlberg. Somebody named Ice Cube. And Spike Jonze.
Yeah.
My friend. I wrote the role for him.
Great movie.
But those guys had this story, the Abscam story. And I want to write about humans more than a procedure. Their emotions more than just the crime. Because the fact that they love life is what this cinema is about, is how people love life and how they survive. In all three movies, The Fighter, Silver Linings, that's what we're doing.
So one of the core themes in all of your movies are really great characters. When you get an idea for a film or something's presented to you and you think, you know, this would really work, what's the next step? I mean, talk to us a little bit about the business of how you get an idea from, you know, being an idea to actually up on the screen and, you know, hopefully win an award for it.
Well, I think it's like a painter. You know, I got the pleasure of meeting two painters in Berlin, Julian Schnabel and George Kondo, who both, wasn't that smart about the art world. They're both, then we were talking about how they make paintings, and it's kind of similar. You put all your coolest, deepest themes on paper, on lists, themes of love, loyalty, heartbreak, betrayal, those themes. You put, look at this person. She lives at home. She has the son. This is the Jennifer Lawrence character. She has big nails. The nail polish becomes a metaphor for all the great perfumes of the world that have a little something rotten in them.
There's always something sour in them,
to give them
there?
depth.
Yeah.
It's like characters. So that's how she's intoxicated her husband, who's Christian Bale. All these ideas that you think are amazing, in no particular order, for every character, for Amy. And then you see Amy. You happen to see her at an event last year. You say, Amy, I'm trying to create something for you. You have an exciting conversation. You talk to her on the phone. You go home and you write more and more and more, column by column by column. And then it starts to come together. And then it's a tapestry. To have 4 actors nominated is a great honor. But it takes a lot of weaving to make each character earn their place in a
Do you have specific actors in mind then when you're thinking through, you know, what characters?
And I mean, and a lot of these are, we should say, from Silver Linings Playbook, right? Because Jennifer Lawrence was there, Bradley Cooper's was there, Robert De Niro was there. So how much of this is you guys are all hanging around, you guys are all friends, and you decide to do something else together?
Well, I think I'm in kind of a blessed time of filmmaking. You know, I went through kind of a struggling period, starting with The Fighter, which half our cast is from The Fighter, Christian Bale and Amy Adams. So we put them together. It was a little bit of a dream team with Bradley and Jennifer, and added Jeremy. Bob De Niro came back. It inspires me. We've worked together. We've taken risks together. Christian already freaked people out in The Fighter and won an Oscar. And we said, let's take another risk. Let's do something you've never done before. Let's do humanity that surprises people and exhilarates them, and that's my job then to deliver that for them at every level.
Sounds like there's a real component of team to all this.
It feels nice, you know, because we have, you know, the cinema-based, character-based cinema, so you get a short schedule. So you got to team up, and you got to be very intense and very nonstop and mean it and make it from the heart. And there's no time for nothing else. So everybody knows that spirit.
What does it mean to, you know, when you walk in and you say, okay, first of all, you are who you are, and you've got your proven track record, and you come in with a cast such as like you had in American Hustle, and then you say, okay, I want to make this movie, I got to finance this movie, etc. I imagine people are very responsive in a way that maybe you didn't see when you came out with your very first film years ago.
You know, that's true and it's not true. It's fascinating. I find all of it fascinating. To make character-based cinema, everybody's hedging their bets because they don't know what it is. It's not an action film. It's not a science fiction film. It's not a... So they're like, what is it? You go, well, it's about these characters. They're like, all right, we're going to keep the money low. Let's get a partner. These are all moving parts as you go forward. Everybody's hedging their bets. You start getting the cast in. Sometimes the cast schedules are moving. You're trying to get everybody, keep all the marbles on the table. Wait, whoa. Let's fix that schedule with Christian. Let's fix that schedule with Bradley. And then we start moving towards the door as we're going to go. And Megan Ellison, our producer, Anna Perna, she has done many wonderful movies. She did Zero Dark 30. And she stayed strong through all of it. There were many chances where she could have said, I don't know, it seems too big a risk. Part of the beauty is when you've done it 3 times, people start to understand the kind of stories you're telling. The Fighter, Silver Linings, and now this. Now it becomes a thing that even audiences know.
So what's next?
That's exciting.
Do you have, and let me say that, so for me there are some character-driven movies in my life that I turn to if I'm depressed or hungover and I can't deal with. So Royal Tenenbaums is one of those that makes me feel better.
I love
and I have to say, Silver Linings Playbook for me is, I can watch it over and over again and I feel better after the movie. And I feel like I love those people and I love the world that they're in there. And of course, Bradley Cooper's and Jennifer Lawrence have a lot to do with that. But you do too. When do you think we're going to recognize the director in American cinema as much as, say, we would in French cinema?
We're recognizing him right here.
Right, but in French cinema or in Germany, you know, they're the stars as much as the actors. There's sort of this cult here that we don't have, that they don't have.
First, let me say that music saved my life many times and movies saved my life many times. When we were flying over to Europe for the BAFTAs now, I was having a bunch
Duke Ellington saved your life?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite songs, personally. You listen to a piece of music, you watch a piece of a movie, even if you're just dialing, it's like you took a pill. And that's what we aspire to do in cinema. And your question was...
30 seconds. What is next? Tell us.
Well, thank you for saying that. And I'm privileged to be nominated. And I watched my heroes be nominated many times and before they ever won.
So what are you going to be nominated for next?
I know, I'm just great. You're hysterical. I'm going to make a picture. There's one I'm going to write. 2 pictures I'm going to write. One for Jennifer, a true story of a lady who invented a miracle mop in Long Island.
I love the Long Island.
It was an amazing story. And we're both excited about it. And I'm also going to write another kind of a big saga, like about a family and a family business. I think we're going to be seeing Robert De Niro back, Bradley Cooper, many members of the same cast coming back.